I know some people have some criticisms that they want to address, like what in the world is going on back here. Basically, people are looking for a bookshelf. Boom.
Test, test. Okay. I really hope this works. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the second quarter wrap up here. I can't believe it's already halfway through the year. It is practically summer, which means nothing for me. I'm still working all the time. I don't get a summer break, but I do like reading outside, and so I think there'll be some good days. I have a hammock in my trunk that has been waiting to get pulled out, and so got to find a couple good trees, get a good book, and should be a fun time for this upcoming season. But here we are at episode 18, and achievement unlocked, bookcase background. Am I finally official? Does the bookcase make it so? I really hope this works. I'm using a portable recorder here. Still getting used to the new camera. Last episode was not too focused and was pretty zoomed in. So this is essentially tech demo number 2 as well. But I'm still feeling really good about this project so far. I am still ahead of schedule. I think it's 2 books ahead of schedule right now for my 20. And so I took the liberty to start an extra long book, or at least longer than what I've been reading so far. And I have Catch 22 coming up next week, hopefully. But it has been hilarious so far. I've laughed out loud a ton. I've heard it gets pretty dark, so I'm going to savor that laughter while it lasts. But this was a book that I had started for a book report in high school. Ended up spark noting the whole thing because I had senioritis hardcore and always regretted that I didn't get to actually read it. And enough time has passed that I have forgotten a lot of the main plot points, which kind of depresses me. Am I that old that I'm like, oh, it was so long ago that I can't remember what happened? But I'm excited because this was one of those books that has been sitting on my shelf forever, and I'm just like, oh, I'll read that soon. I'll read that soon. And now that I am reading it, it's kind of given me an existential crisis, being like, how many books am I going to do that for during my life that I might not actually get to? So I'm going to continue reading as much as possible because I've hit a ton of books so far, looking back on the year that would normally take me multiple years to read, and I feel like I'm finally reaching a point where I feel well read. I actually hit 2 makeshift goals. They are only goals because I have this channel, but I noticed them during the week being like, wow, this wouldn't have happened if I wouldn't have started Brian's Book Bastion back in January. The first one being a buddy of mine texted me and was basically saying, give me a book to read right now, knowing that I was reading a ton of books for this channel and knowing that I might actually have a good grasp on what would be good for him. Now, I'll be honest, I really wasn't the best person. I did the best I could, but it was cool to have somebody actually reach out to me and be like, hey, I know you've been reading. What book should I read? I'm trying to do a modest goal myself this year. His was about 3 books, which I think is good, especially considering when I texted him, I said, oh, well, what were the last 3 books that you read? And he couldn't recall. So 3 books will be great, and I hope that happens for him. So Andrew, if you're watching, you got this. The second one was I was watching a TV show a little bit earlier this week. It was Wilfred, and there was an episode where the main character Ryan was on a beach and he was reading Italo Calvino. And it's an author that I wouldn't have recognized, but I read If on a Winter's Night a Traveler earlier on this year. And so it was something that I was like, oh, I'm recognizing a literary reference because I've had this channel and I've been reading a lot more. And so that was super cool too. 2 random goals that I didn't know that I had that kind of worked out. I'm a resource and I'm recognizing authors and books. I know I have a long way to go before being a true expert, and I don't really ever expect to be, but I'm on a good journey here, and I think that it's just been cool to experience a lot of these books that have turned out to be all-time favorites. And it's really helpful that I'm getting them from my girlfriend. She is actually an English teacher. She has 3 boxes here of books that I'll be adding to this bookshelf and a few more. She's moving in this weekend, and she has a personal library of her own, so I don't see any of my choices dwindling. So that'll be pretty exciting, and I think she's ready to read this summer too, so I hope all of you out there are getting ready for a well-read summer. This community is super cool. I've started to actually comment on a lot of other people's videos who have booktube channels, and everyone's been super friendly to me, and I think that this is a really easy community to get into. I mean, we all have something in common. We all like to read and talk about books, so this is a really novice channel, and if I can do it, you definitely can. So if you're watching out there and you're like, hey, I feel like I kind of want to start a booktube channel, do it. It's awesome. And you don't have to post that often. I just do it once a week. It's helped me keep busy outside of work, and I feel like I'm accomplishing something. So it's pretty cool. So if you're a person that's ever been thinking about starting a channel, like I said, just do it. I don't know if I have any crazy goals or predictions for when I reach the third quarter wrap up, but I really think I will be ahead of my reading goal this year, which is cool. I don't know if it'll be mid-20s or reach up to 30. It depends on what I read. I think I'm getting a craving for longer books again. I've been reading a lot of shorter ones, and I've kind of been known to read, these huge tomes, and so maybe that'll happen. I have a few books on the shelf here that are fairly large that I want to get to, and it's pretty awesome because I can pull them off right now. JR might be in the works. I have Gravity's Rainbow up there. We'll see how it goes. It'll be really hard to do videos every week if I do that, but I am getting the craving, but I think a lot of it also is getting satisfied with Catch 22, but I think 20 was a good goal to start with, and I think if I continue this channel or even continue to make reading goals, that number will definitely be going up, which I think that's the ultimate win of this channel, that I've been reading so much more, and a goal that seemed daunting before is really attainable and just gives me confidence going forward. Thanks as always for following the show. I just love talking to all of you about it in and outside of the internet, and I really do hope you continue, and everybody comment. I think that I like having a discussion, and if you're watching, you're definitely invested. So if you have anything that you would like to see me read, leave it in the comments, or if there's a book that you've really loved this year. This is something that I actually am really curious about, is what is your favorite book that you've read this year? If you're reading this, we're halfway through the year, so you've probably read at least a couple if you're following a channel like this. So has anything stood out to you? Why? And why do you think I should read it? All right, Judgment Day cometh. I hope this video turned out, but I'll catch you next week for Catch 22. I really should have saved that for the 22nd episode, but it'll be a good review. I've really enjoyed it, and I think I'll have a good time with that one. So I hope to catch you next week, and I hope to catch you for the rest of the year too. Thanks for checking out the video, and I'll see you for the next video. See ya.